Imagine for a moment that beneath everything you see, beneath all forms, colors, and shapes, there exists an endless expanse, a silent, infinite space. An emptiness so profound that it holds within itself the potential for all things that have ever existed and ever will exist. This is quantum silence, the eternal unchanging stillness from which the universe emerges. You may think of emptiness as nothingness, an absence of life and meaning. Yet, what if emptiness is not empty at all? What if it's the very fabric of reality itself, the silent foundation upon which every atom, every particle, every galaxy is built? Quantum physics reveals to us that beneath the material world lies a field of pure potentiality, a realm where matter and energy exist only as possibilities. It is a state where particles dance in and out of existence, appearing from nowhere and returning just as mysteriously into that silence from which they emerged. Every atom in your body, every breath you take, every thought you experience arises from this quantum emptiness. In the infinite silence, reality continuously recreates itself, moment by moment. We often overlook this silence, distracted by the noise of our thoughts, our beliefs, our perceptions. Yet, the more closely we observe, the clearer it becomes. Silence is not absence, but presence. A profound, vibrant presence from which everything flows effortlessly. Consider that the space around you, the empty air, is filled with potential, vibrating with subtle quantum fluctuations. These fluctuations are not merely theoretical, they shape the fabric of reality. The entire cosmos is continuously born from this invisible, infinite sea of potential. Our universe began from a singular point of infinite density, a state of absolute silence and stillness that suddenly burst forth into light, matter, and life. Science calls this event the Big Bang, yet beneath this dramatic explosion, we discover a profound stillness, an infinite quiet that underlies everything. We find parallels within ourselves. When the mind quiets, when thoughts dissolve into stillness, we touch that quantum silence. We become aware of our true nature, unbounded, timeless consciousness. It's not something we must strive to achieve. It is always there, beneath the turbulence of thought, patiently awaiting our attention. Just as the universe emerges from silence, so does clarity emerge from the quiet mind. The deeper you journey into this silence, the more clearly you begin to perceive the interconnectedness of everything. You realize that separation is merely an illusion born from noise. Beneath the surface, all things are one, unified by silence. Quantum silence is not just a metaphor. It is the essence of reality, described by mystics throughout history and confirmed by modern science. Both physics and spirituality point to the same truth, that reality is not solid and separate, but fluid, interconnected, and deeply silent. Think of yourself as an ocean. On the surface, waves rise and fall, appearing separate and distinct. Yet, beneath these waves lies the vast, silent depth of the ocean itself, untouched by turbulence. Similarly, beneath your thoughts, your emotions, your experiences, lies a boundless silence, an infinite field of potential. In this quietness, possibilities unfold effortlessly. Your reality shifts, not by force, but by surrendering to silence, allowing life itself to flow freely, through you, as you. Science reveals that quantum fields respond to observation, consciousness influencing matter at its most fundamental level. By becoming aware of the silence within you, you become the observer who gently shapes your own reality. The quieter the mind, the clearer the observation. The clearer the observation, the deeper the influence on reality. Quantum silence teaches us to let go, to cease the relentless striving and simply rest within the infinite potential of the present moment. It is from here, from this silent core, that true transformation arises. The universe does not create through struggle, it creates through stillness, through the effortless unfolding of possibilities. As you listen now, notice the silence behind these words. Allow yourself to rest in it, to feel its depth, its calm, its vast potential. Understand deeply that the silence you experience in this moment is the very silence from which galaxies spin, stars ignite, and consciousness awakens. This quantum silence is your origin, your true nature, your very essence. The more deeply we look into the heart of matter, the less substance we find. Protons, electrons, quarks, they are not solid things, but patterns of vibration, ripples in invisible fields. What remains, even when the particle disappears, is the field, the quiet, the silence. This is not the silence of absence, but the presence of pure awareness. It doesn't speak in language, nor does it move in time. It simply is. And in its stillness, it gives rise to the play of light and shadow, energy and form. Physicists describe the vacuum not as empty, but as seething with virtual particles, constantly appearing and vanishing, lending mass, charge, and force to what we call real. It is in this subtle emptiness that reality whispers itself into being. A whisper you can only hear when you stop listening for noise. When we imagine creation, we often picture great force or motion. Yet the most powerful moment of change is always still. Like the silence between musical notes that makes melody possible. Like the space between heartbeats. Like the breath you're not aware of until you pause. In the depths of meditation, many speak of becoming no one, going nowhere, doing nothing. It's in that apparent nothingness that a subtle truth begins to reveal itself. That the quiet watching awareness is not separate from the cosmos. It is the cosmos. Space, often thought of as a backdrop, is not passive. It bends, curves, and carries the blueprint of gravity and time. It holds galaxies in place, cradles starlight across billions of years. Without the void, no form could exist. Without silence, there would be no song. What's most astonishing is that consciousness itself seems to mirror this silence. Not as a product of the brain, but as something more primal, an openness, aware of itself. It doesn't arise from the noise of thought, but exists before thought ever began. This awareness is not an observer within the universe. It is the universe becoming aware of itself. Through the lens of quantum field theory, we see that what we call particles are excitations, temporary ripples in a deeper sea. But the sea itself, the stillness, remains. It holds memory without possessing form, intelligence without identity, presence without boundary. What if this silence is not just the origin of matter, but also the source of meaning? Not a blank page waiting to be filled, but the invisible ink itself. What if every insight, every act of creation, every turning point in your life first arose not from thinking, but from pausing? You may have felt it in those rare moments when the world suddenly feels suspended, between thoughts, beneath words, behind your eyes. That pause is not empty. It is brimming. It is the space where the known dissolves and the infinite opens. And so the most intimate connection to the quantum field is not found in machines or mathematics, but in the stillness within your own awareness. Not through striving, but surrender. Not through seeking, but remembering. Quietly.